Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome to this month's Connect with Control M. My name is Octavio Vasquez. I'm a Senior Technical Support Analyst at the BMC Customer Support Team. Today we're going to talk about the self-service new interface that delivers several performance improvements and new features. I would like to introduce today's panelists, Jose Luna and Arthur Yates, who are also experts in self-service with me. If you have any questions during this presentation, please feel free to enter them in the Q&A panel located in the right side of your WebEx window. We will address your questions at the end of the session, okay? Finally, you can save this presentation by going to the File and Save option in your WebEx window. So let's start our presentation. If you have not activated or you are still not using Control M self-service in your environment, we have two previous webinars. One covered the basic capabilities of self-service, and the second one showed the utilization of some advanced features and the capabilities of our mobile app. Please feel free to watch this. They contain several basic concepts about self-service. So if you are still thinking about start using self-service, I strongly recommend you to check these previous webinars. I will show you the links at the end of the webinar. For today's agenda, we will start talking about what's new in the self-service interface delivered with the FixPack 3 for Control M Enterprise Manager 9. Next, we will have a demo where I will show you the new interface, the location of the features, how these are used, and then we will discuss some helpful items that I would like you to take away of this presentation. Finally, we will have the Q&A session where we will address your questions. Again, please feel free to enter your questions at any time of the presentation in the Q&A panel. What's new? Control M self-service web interface has been revitalized and rewritten with HTML5. HTML5 is the standard technology of modern web application that requires no plugins on the browser side. So we are no longer depending on a plugin on the browser, and that makes Control M self-service support on all standard browsers. Now we have a completely new graphical layout that is consistent with other BMC web application. And this new user interface is also consistent with the previous one. So no special training is required for your current users. Substantial performance enhancement has been delivered. For example, services of over 2,000 jobs can now be loaded to your flow diagram without any performance delay. You can easily load also 5,000 jobs to your list view. If you have implemented Control M workload archiving on your environment, you will be very happy to know that the archive tool functions are now more integrated into the main layout. Also, as you may know, we have recently released our new Control M Managed File Transfer product. So now you are also able to search and view your file transfers from the self-service web interface. So let's move to our demo environment to show you this new interface. Okay. So first, here's the new self-service login page. As soon as we log in, we will be directed to the Jobs and Services main screen. For the people that is still not using self-service, well, self-service enables you to monitor your jobs with from a business perspective, from a services perspective. The services contains jobs and folders, so Self-service enables you to monitor the services and the jobs within the service through the web interface. There is no need to install a client. There is no need to install a plugin. You can monitor them from here. On the left top corner, we have a summary graph that tells us the number of services active in our environment and group them by status. If we hover the mouse over it, as I'm doing right now, we can see more detailed information. So for example, if somebody comes to you and asks you, hey, how many services have failed today? How many services are in execution right now? Well, you can easily go to this graph and give this information to the people that need it. Below, we have this date drop-down, the one that I'm clicking right now. On this drop-down, we can select the data that we want to see. Do we want to see today's data or historical information? In the previous interface, we used to open a separate tab when you click for the history information. Now, we just need to select the date on this field, and the information will be displayed to us in the same window. For example, if somebody comes to you or you want to check what happened with your services on 10 days ago, you can easily select the date, and the information for that date will be displayed to you. Okay? And also, well, you can go back and see the current active data. We have several improvements because on this option of the history display. In the past, we have some fixes, we have some bugs, sorry, and now we have fixes and improvements that will help you to perform a better investigation of the past events in your environment. Next, we have the refresh, the actions drop-down. The actions drop-down will tell you what are the actions that you can perform over the entity that is selected. For example, if I select another services, the actions will change. Okay, so here is the actions drop-down that is also available when you do a right-click over an entity. Okay, and continuing to the right, we will find the job search button. By clicking it, a new tab will be open, as you can see. Let me tell you how you can use this feature. How many times somebody comes to you and asks you for a job that you don't know what's the service related to that job? Or even better, why don't empower the users to look for the jobs instead asking you about the status of a specific job? Well, they can easily come to this job search tab and perform the search according job name, the file name, or even the order ID for the job. For example, I'm going to type the word payroll, and it will bring me all the jobs that meet this criteria and display them in a list view. As you can see, here we also have the date drop-down that we have been talking before. What this mean? Well, we are able to see the active data. We can do a job search on the active data, but we are also able to do it on the history data. So for example, I want to do the search on the data of December 28. Well, I can easily do it. For example, in this day, this job didn't run, but I can look, for example, for another day, let's say 26. Okay, I don't have jobs for these days, but let's see a previous day. Don't go so too many days back. Okay, so I click on a previous day, and it is performing the search on the previous data of the environment. Let me try with another job. Maybe has more information. Abort the search. I'm going to do a search on today. Payments. Let me look, for example, for the history of Friday. Okay. Okay, and my jobs doesn't meet the previous information of this job is not available. Okay, so from here you can easily look for this kind of data. In the list view, we have some filters based on the column header, and you can apply filters and sub-filters based on each column of the table. Okay, I will show you later how to use them. And here in the right side, well, you will have all the details about the jobs that is selected. Okay, you can check the logs, you can check the output. All the details are here. And in case that you need a wider view of the list, you can easily hide this panel by just clicking the arrow icon that is there, and you can take it back also. Okay, so this is how the job search tab works. Let's go back to our main screen, and next to the job search button we have the order service button. For the people that is new with self-service, let me quickly tell you a little bit about what's an orderable service. The orderable service enables the users to submit a job or an entire folder for execution from the web interface without the need of asking a scheduler or somebody with the workload automation client on his computers. They can easily do it from the self-service web interface. Okay, so that's how what's one of the best features of self-service, to empower the users to submit jobs or folders for execution on demand from the web interface. Okay, so when I click the order service button, I get this panel. On this panel, I'm going to get the list of all the orderable services that are available for my user. In case that I have a very, very long list of services, in case that my user is able to order a big number of services, well, we have this filter services box when I can type a very specific word in the service name to look for that specific service. Okay, so one of the new features of this self-service interface is this order as independent flow option. This option was only available on the workload automation client, but now we also have it on the self-service web interface. What this option means, or how we can use it. This option determines if a flow in a folder is ordered uniquely. What does it mean? Consider the next example. Our payroll service has failed, and we need to rerun it again from the beginning. Then, for that scenario, we will enable the order as independent flow option, because this option adds a suffix to every condition within the flow. So this execution will be completely independent of the previous one. We don't have to worry about that some conditions were already posted by the previous flow. It doesn't matter. This new execution will be totally independent. Okay, so let me order a service to show you. Here we have the parameters that are used like an input for the service. I'm going to type it because it is required, and I'm going to click order. Okay, have an error with the ordering, but let me check. Pretty sure the ordering work. Okay, I do a refresh, and let's give it a minute. I'm pretty sure that the ordering work. Maybe it has an error with the folder, but let's see. Okay, so the service will appear here with a new label as soon as the as it is ordered, and we will see the status of the folder. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, but I will show you when it appears. Okay, so next to while we wait for the orderable service to pop up, let's talk about the archive search button. The archive search button is the integration of the Control-M workload archiving in our self-service web interface. For those who has activated or are already using the Control-M workload archiving on your environments, well, this button will be enabled, and by clicking it, you will be able to perform a search in the data of your archiving server. For example, I need to look for jobs starting with payroll, and I have the advanced button where I can do a more specific search. For example, look in the information for the last year. Recall that the purpose of archiving is to have a lot of historical information on a separate database, and only query that database when you require it. So I'm going to look for that job, and let's see, return me the message, the data. Okay, so here is the data that is in my archiving server. As you can see, there are a lot of executions that maybe have been already cleaned from the Control-M Enterprise Manager, but they are available on my archiving server. So I can check this information through the self-service web interface. Again, we have the details panel on the right side, so we can see all the detailed information of the job here. Okay, and also the filterings based on the header of the column is available on this list. So let's go to our main screen. Okay, there's been a problem with my orderable services. Okay, no, let's continue with the other filters. Below the level that we have already checked, we have the filter section. Here we have the favorite button, and by clicking it, I will see only the services that have been bookmarked or marked as a favorite service. How I mark a service as favorite? You see this little icon here of a little star icon. Well, by clicking it, I will mark this service as favorite. So if I click the button, I will only see the favorite services. As you can see, the star is enabled. But if I disable it, well, that one will not be a favorite service anymore. Okay, and next to the favorites button, we have the order services button. By clicking this button, I will see only the services that have been manually ordered by an user. This little man icon is the one that identifies a service as an orderable service, a service that has been manually ordered by an user. Okay, so that's an easy way to identify all the services that have been ordered on demand by our users. And next to these buttons, we have the filter button. Here I can specify filters and sub-filters to see only the information that I'm interested. Okay, so for example, I can put a filter based on the name of the service. I say it starts with payment, and for example, I only want to see the services that start with pay M and that has end OK. As you can see, I don't have data, and all my filters have been added here besides the button. I can remove them, and there it is. It appears the service that meets the criteria that is appearing here. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can find this tool very useful when for those environments where we have a lot of services. Well, it can help us a lot to see only the information that we need at a specific moment. Continuing to the right on that level, we have the tile view and the list view uh, buttons. These buttons control how the information is displayed. Do you want to see it in the services boxes, or you want to see a list of the services? Okay. At the beginning of the presentation, well, we talk about the performance improvements that have been delivered with the new self-service interface. Um, as you may recall, I told you that now we are able to load services of 2000 jobs in the flow diagram in this tile view. We don't have any performance delay. In the previous interface, we have a very small delay when we have this number of services. But now that the interface has been rewritten in HTML5, we have moved over that delay. Now the performance is very fast, even in the tile view. And in the list view, we also have a performance because now we are able to load 5,000 jobs, for example, in the list view. Our previous interface used to have a limit around 2,000, I recall, and now we are able to see 5,000 jobs in the list view. So it's a great improvement, and we are very excited about this. Next to these buttons, again as for the jobs, we can see the details tab. The details tab will show us the information related to the service that we have selected at that moment. A very nice improvement that I would like to show you is that in the services details for the BIM services, we have added this tickets tab. This tickets tab is going to show me information when I have configured an undo action on the BIM job to generate a remedy ticket, for example, when the services is late, when a job has failed within the service. Well, if I have configured that kind of actions, I will be able to see here the tickets that has been generated for the events that are happening within the service. So consider that you have a problem with this service. Somebody comes to you and asks you, hey, do you have the ticket number that we are using to follow up this issue? Well, you can easily come to this tab and look for the ticket that has been generated for the event. Okay, now let's drill down in a service to check how the jobs are displayed. Okay, so I drill down, I get the flow diagram. I can perform the job actions like in the previous interface. For people that is new, well, the self-service interface, web interface enables you to perform the job actions that you are authorized without the need of the client. So for example, I can do this job to set OK. Okay, it's sending me an error of authorization. But well, the options will be displayed according to the authorizations of your user. We have this is the flow diagram, and we have the list view also. And here I will see the same information, but displayed on a list view. And I was talking to you about the filters that are available in the header of each column. I can specify filters and sub-filters according to each column. So for example, I want to look for the jobs that include a number 6. Oh, sorry. This is the run as. I'm in the run as. I'm going to do it in the job name. I'm going to show the jobs that includes the word job in their name. And after that, I want to see only the jobs that are in failure status. And there you go. Let's change it now to only the jobs that are in end okay. As you can see, you can mix filters, for example, end okay and failure. I just want to see those jobs that are in end okay. And let's say that now I just want to see the job that has a job 3. So you can configure these kind of sub filters. When we have a very, very long list of jobs, this can be very, very useful to see only the information that we are interested. Okay, here we have this menu, this option, where I can specify which columns I want for the list. This button is available for every list view that you have in the self-service web interface. Let me show you also another feature that we have delivered. Here is the details panel of the job. Yeah, as we have been talking before, it will show me the detailed information of the job that I have selected. And something very, very nice is that I have this the output tab where I can check the output of the job. There's something happening with the authorizations of my user that it's showing me issues. But well, when I have the output, I will have this button that right now is gray out because I don't have the privilege. Let me see if I can get another service. Let me see another service. I would like to show you the output. Okay, let's select this job. Well, something is happening with my authorizations. Okay, sorry for that. So well, this button will show you the output in a separate window. Consider the next example. We have a SAP job that has a very, very long output. Well, this SAP job will display. We can display the output in a separate window to make it easier for us to check it. Okay, so that option is very, very useful to see a very, very big output. And finally, we have integrated the self-service interface with our new Control-M Managed File Transfer product. If you have activated a product, you will see this label active. So you can click it, and here it will take you to a tab where you can enter the name of the file that has been transferred, or if you know the job name, you can also look for the transfer using the job name or even the application. So for example, I'm going to look for any file that has been transferred, any file name bank that has been transferred in my environment. As you can see here are the files. The name of the file is bankreport.txt. It's showing me the progress of the transfer, the size of the file, and in the details panel, I can see the job that generated this transfer, and I can get very, very detailed information, like for example the bitrate that has been used in the transfer. So if you have already implemented the Control-M Managed File Transfer product in your environment, you will be very happy to know that now you are able to access this information from the self-service web interface. Okay, so that's the Manage File Transfer tab. And let me go back to our slides to continue with the helpful hints that I would like you to take away. Okay, so as we have mentioned, this new interface is available as soon as you install the Fixpack 3 on your Control M Enterprise Manager 9. Um, we have seen that when you access the interface using Internet Explorer 11, you can see some error messages. These errors we have found that are caused the Internet Enhanced Security option is enabled. So we strongly recommend you to disable this option if you are considering to use Internet Explorer 11. In case that as soon as you install the Fixpack on your environment and you access the self-service interface, you don't see your services in the screen, well, I will recommend you to check this article that I have wrote here. This situation can be caused by a very specific configuration. In this article, we show you how to fix the configuration and set it correctly to be able to see your data. Okay, and again, if you are new and you are still thinking about using self-service in your environment, please check our previous webinars. We discussed very basic concepts there, and I'm pretty sure they will be very, very useful for you. So thank you very much for attending. I hope the information provided was useful. You will be receiving a survey as soon as you close the webinar. We encourage you to fill out and provide feedback on where we can improve and any future topics that you would like to see in our webinars. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and our past webinars can be viewed on BMC Communities, YouTube, and iTunes. Today's webinar will be posted there in a couple of days. Our next webinar will be the upgrade of Control M7 to Control M9, a very, very important topic. So if you can join us, I'm pretty sure it will be very useful for you. We also suggest you to visit our BMC community site to get connected with other users, view webinars, post questions, and also look for some answers. BMC communities are available on our corporate site, bmc.com, or they can also be accessed at communities.bmc.com.